Where do you think your child is now? Any idea?
I have no idea. He told me to take him somewhere and drop him off.
To get rid of them?
Yes.
And what is your text going to say when I see that?
I dropped the kids off.
And what about the boy being dead?
I said he might be dead.
It's February 28th, 2021 in Middletown, Ohio, where the only thing more chilling than the weather is about to be revealed in one woman's shocking interview.
Is you have to be 100% honest with me with everything, okay? Because we don't have this, we're missing a 6-year-old little boy, and we're trying to figure out where he's at. I got to make sure he's safe, okay? So, you know, your cooperation goes a long, long way, okay? But you have to be honest with me with everything, no matter what the circumstances are, okay? So, you can remove your mask if you would, if you don't care. Do you care to take off your mask? Okay.
As long as you don't have COVID.
I don't. Do you?
No.
Then we're good. Okay. So, what happened? What time did you guys go to bed last night?
Well, the kids go to bed at 9.
Okay.
And we normally go to bed at 10.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I knew, I told them all it was 9 o'clock, time for bed.
Mm-hmm.
So they all went upstairs to their rooms. And I went upstairs a little bit later to see if they were asleep.
Sure.
And they were all asleep. So then that's when I came down, waited a couple minutes just to see if they might have come downstairs or something. And then I went to bed. Well, he woke me up, and because he went looking around first, he said he had come in there several times before to try to wake me up. And he said I didn't respond to any time. So he just went outside and looked around, went through all the rooms, the closets, and all that, and he couldn't find him anywhere. So then the next thing he thought to do was just go around a couple blocks, see if he might be close by.
Did he walk there, or did he drive there, or what did he do for that part?
He drove around.
Okay.
But he came back and woke me up, and he was like, "You know James is gone?" I was like, "What?" And I was like, "No, I thought he was upstairs asleep."
Police identify the woman seen here as 29-year-old Brittany Gosney, who came to police with her 42-year-old boyfriend James Hamilton to report her 6-year-old son, also coincidentally named James, had gone missing.
Where do you think your child is now? Any idea?
I have no idea.
Brittany, a mom of 3, tells the detective her son was just not there when the couple woke up. But detectives aren't exactly buying that story.
Well, I'm a little confused that the baby's been missing since 4:30ish, we'll say. Okay? And we don't get the call till after 10 a.m. That's peculiar to me. You understand why? Do you see that?
Because it's a lot of hours.
That's a lot of hours. You're missing a 6-year-old or a first grader, and the police aren't called. So obviously that draws suspicion. Okay?
Right.
The detective reads Brittany her Miranda rights, while another investigator checks in with her boyfriend James. Let's see what he has to say.
I went upstairs to check on the kids like I do just about every time I
Sure.
get up in the middle of the night.
Sure.
And I went through the rooms, noticed the boy, James, was gone. I went down, I got to look in the front door, it was locked. I looked at the back side door, it's unlocked.
So, at what point did you wake up the kids or Brittany to make sure they didn't know where little James was?
Well, it was around about 8:30 this morning. I woke back up, woke up with everybody, and we all went looking again. And then when we couldn't find them nowhere, we came here.
Sure.
I mean, this was our last resort.
Right.
James tells a similar story, saying the 6-year-old simply disappeared in the night.
What's your gut feeling of what you think happened to little James?
I don't know. I'm hoping he's somewhere there in the neighborhood hiding.
Does he have any friends that he hangs out with?
None I'm aware of.
Does he have any of the parks that he likes to go to?
Any parks. I mean, he sees a swing, anything will be on it. I mean,
So,
any kid. I've taken places, do things with them, but if they're bad, I don't reward measure.
How do you...
Back with Brittany, detectives point out some differences in the couple's stories.
Okay. I'm getting a story that is totally different than what you've told me, and I don't know why James is telling me that, but that's what he's telling me. Okay, that's part of what he's telling me. Okay, he's wanting into more detail than that. Okay, but I'm not going to share that with you. I need to know what happened last night with your boy, your 6-year-old. Or this morning, early this morning. In the middle of the night. Whatever.
I know you said that he had a nightmare.
The 6-year-old?
Yeah, but I didn't carry him downstairs or anything.
Okay, who carried him down the steps?
He walked down the steps.
He walked down the steps in the middle of the night? About what time was that?
I couldn't tell you. I didn't pay attention to the time.
But it was in the middle of the night?
Yeah, I was more worried about what was wrong with him.
What does that mean?
Like, what...
Why he was downstairs?
Why was he downstairs? Why was he awake? What was bothering him? Did he feel sick? Or he had to use the bathroom?
Okay, so he's downstairs, and what does he say to you?
He had a nightmare. He come in there and said, "Mommy," I don't know how many times he's probably said my name. I'm a deep sleeper.
Okay.
But I was rolling over and I heard, "Mommy, Mommy." At first I thought I was just hearing things, and then something told me to, like, maybe I'm not hearing things. So I opened my eyes and he said, "Mommy, we had a nightmare." Or, "Mommy, we see a shadow." I was like, "What shadow?" He said, "I don't know, they're white." I was like, he's like, "Do you know what it is?" I said, "I don't know." And he said he couldn't really sleep. Couldn't tell me what he was dreaming about or his nightmare was. He was scared.
Brittany's initial claims start to unravel before detectives continue digging in.
So why didn't you tell me all this before when we were talking? Why didn't you tell me all this story before? Because I just asked you if you remember going upstairs originally when I came in, because that's what I'm being told. And you didn't remember any of that. Now all of a sudden you're remembering detail about him being
I have
scared.
a bad problem with memory issues. I couldn't tell you if I can't remember day to day.
Okay. You're still not lying. You're lying to me about some stuff. So, did you grow up in church or anything, in the faith? Christian faith?
I remember when I was a little kid that my grandma used to take me to church all the time.
Right. Well, I suspect something accidentally happened, okay, because you are all over the place with your stories, okay? For whatever reason, you're scared and you're not telling me the whole truth, okay? And I understand you being scared. I know you don't know me, okay, but I'm the most honest person that you're ever going to talk to, okay? I'm telling you, it's in your best interest to tell me the entire truth.
Moments later, Brittany offers up a confession that changes everything.
James told me to get rid of the kids.
Okay.
And so I took them for a drive to make them think I want to get rid of them, but I'm not going to get rid of my kids for anybody on this planet. And he told me to get rid of them because they were not listening. He was tired of putting up with it. And I kept telling him, like, I'm not going to get rid of my kids. Like, I can take them, give you a break, and from me and them for a little while, take them for a drive, whatever, but I'm not getting rid of them. They're my kids. I will not do that.
Okay.
And I said if I wanted to do that, I would have gave him up a long time ago. But he kept telling me, either get these kids under control or get rid of them or do something with them. So I tried asking family members to...
So what happened last night? Let's fast forward to that.
We went for a drive. I don't know what road it was.
Okay.
It was just, we were just driving around. Well, the kids were going to the bathroom. I had pulled over to this, a little booth.
In Middletown?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little stall or something. A bathroom. I pulled over to the bathroom and let them all use the bathroom. Well, it was raining and stuff. I left the door unlocked in the van and told them we'll all go in here. Not all of us at once, but each one of us go in here one at a time, use the bathroom. So we went in the bathroom. Well, I couldn't go in there, but when I went to go in the bathroom, I told him to go ahead and just get in the van. Well, James had slipped and fell because his shoes were wet, slippery, and he had hit his head. And
did it kill him? Is that what you're telling me? Did the fall hurt him?
Well, I asked him if he was okay. He wouldn't answer me. So I noticed he was breathing kind of heavy. And I thought maybe that's not normal. I've never seen him bloody like that before. Well, he was breathing. I don't know how long he was breathing for, but he had fell and busted his head on the side of the van and trying to get in there. And he was breathing heavy for a couple minutes, and then I tried to do CPR, I couldn't get him.
So he stopped breathing. And where's his body at? You're doing good, okay? Just tell me where his body's at, so I gotta go find him. For you, okay? This is called closure now, okay? Where's his body at? Would you take it back home with you?
No, I left it.
You left it? So who's all in the car with you?
All of us.
James, you?
Yes, we always know
Then the
that
three
go
children.
out as a family.
So all 5 of you?
Yes.
All right. And what park was this, or where was this at in Middletown? Because it would make sense to put, to me,
It was...
Did you put him in a dumpster? Did you just let him lay right there? Was he buried? I mean, that's what I need to know.
I didn't do nothing with him. I just let them lay in the parking lot because it was a plain parking lot. There was, I believe, like water over here or something. And there was one little stall, and I let them just lay on the ground.
You heard that right. Brittany decides to come sort of clean to detectives, revealing the child died while she was allegedly trying to, quote, get rid of the kids at the request of her boyfriend, the same boyfriend who allegedly just made a confession of his own.
All right. So, James has told me that body was dumped off the bridge, okay, that you guys went together to do that this morning, okay? Is it the Ohio River? Is that what we're talking about, or where?
It's between Indiana and Kentucky.
Between Indiana and Kentucky?
I don't really know my ways about.
Okay. Was the body wrapped in anything? Or did you just have clothes on him, or what?
He had clothes on.
The detective reveals that James allegedly said they had worked together to dump the child's body off a bridge into the Ohio River.
So what did you do then?
I drove home.
You picked him up, put him in the van?
Yes.
Okay.
He thought I just threw.
Right.
I can't do that to my kid.
Right.
Sure.
I don't want to just throw him in there.
Right. Well, the other
I've
two
never
kids
seen
said
a
to
dead
you.
body before or know how it looks, feels, nothing. So I just kind of like a baby, pick him up, his head and his legs, and sit him in the have you been in the van yet?
I mean, I've seen
Okay.
it.
Well, it
There's
has
no seats.
the back seat,
Right.
and you got that empty spot
Yes.
right here, and then
Mhm.
the two front seats. Well, I had laid him nicely, softly. I didn't just
Right.
throw him in there, because
Sure.
that's just disrespectful.
Right.
And that's my blood child.
Right. But whenever you left, your
I didn't know.
initial intentions were to leave them. That's why you went there to begin with. And you were gonna leave them and come back to Middletown. Is that what?
No, I was gonna leave them and act like I was gonna leave them, but I was gonna tell him that I left them. And in reality, I didn't.
What were you gonna do with them?
I wasn't gonna do anything with them, to be honest.
Well, if you took them.
I took them to there, because he told me to take them somewhere and drop them off.
To get rid of them.
Yes.
Forever.
So I couldn't get rid of my kids.
So you bring the kid back, you carry the kid in, and then what happens? Where do you put the kid? Where do you put James?
I just laid him on the when you walk in the door, that room right there, on the floor.
The front, when you walk in the front
The living
door?
room.
Yes, the front room.
So the living room
where
and
the
the couch.
is, yes.
You lay him
I
there?
laid him on the floor,
Okay.
the bare floor,
Mm-hmm.
and he took him upstairs
James took him upstairs.
and put him in the bedroom.
Brittany's story drastically changes, but detectives suspect they don't have the entire truth yet and bring her in again for more questioning.
You initially told me that your boyfriend, all 5 of you went up there. Do you remember telling me that? Okay. Did all 5 of you go up there?
No, it was just me and 3 kids.
You and the 3 kids, okay. So at no time, he wasn't up there for that. But you had called him, is what you told me, and told him what had happened.
No, I had texted him. He had called me.
Okay, you texted him, and what is your text gonna say when I see that?
I dropped the kids off.
And what about the boy being dead?
I said he might be dead.
Right. I think it's probably gonna give me a little bit more than that, but that's best you can remember? Okay. I think something more happened up there than you just him falling down. He didn't just fall down. Okay, can we agree on that?
I didn't run him over. I know that for a fact. I did not run him over.
Okay.
Brittany continues to deny hitting the 6-year-old with a van, but soon enough, investigators get to the bottom of what may have happened.
You think maybe you drug him, not knowing you drug him?
I might have. I honestly don't know. But when I look back, I didn't see him having a handle.
But you did tell me you saw him, he was on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Well,
see
when I glanced back, I thought he was just sitting there on the ground. But my daughter said, no, Mom, you went around him, and you didn't run him over.
Why would she say that at age 8? I mean, what brings to her mind?
Because
Did you ask her?
I asked her, did you see what happened? Because I was kind of shook up, confused.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she was standing right there. I seen her standing right there. And she said, no, Mom, you didn't run him over. She said you might have accidentally drugged him, not knowing.
So now she's saying that you accidentally drug him?
Yeah. But honestly, I wasn't taking him there to be mean to him, hurt him, harm him anyway.
Well, leaving them out by themselves is harming them, technically, right? Can we agree to that?
Yes.
All right. We also need to agree on this, is that more happened than what you're telling me, because I just brought up to you dragging him. You've never brought that up before, and now your daughter's telling you that, well, Mom, I think you probably drug him. So I'm trying not to get pissed off at you, okay? But you're me, okay? And that's not going to be good for you. Meaning that, you're yourself over by not telling me the whole truth here. You know what the happened to your boy. I know you know, okay? Tell me what happened to your boy. You did what you did, it's done and over. It's done. Look at me, hon. It's done and over.
It feels like you guys are not believing me.
I don't believe you. You're lying. You're not telling me the whole truth. You've told me partial
Well, go
truth.
get that whatever test.
No. I want you're going to get through we're going to get through this together.
Well, I didn't hurt my son.
Okay, you did because he's not alive, hon. He's dead. Okay? So
Now, Brittany decides it's time to really come clean to investigators when she reveals even more disturbing details.
you know he probably had to handle.
Yeah.
Okay, and
'Cause, I mean,
did you run over him with the car
No,
by accident?
no,
Did the tire go over his head? Go over his body?
no.
All right. So you're saying that you think that he may have had to handle it as you drove off, he fell.
Yeah.
Okay. But you know really what happened.
No, I
You
know
don't
for a
think.
fact he had that handle.
Okay, so he was holding the handle.
Yeah, because he
and-
was kept trying to get back in
And
there.
you drive off.
Yeah.
How far did you drag him?
I went to the, as you go out,
Mm-hmm.
not all the way out, but as you go
Towards the
head
drive,
out.
right?
And that's as far as I got, but I didn't hear no noises, as I was saying.
Right.
And,
So is that when he fell off the door? Once you got out that way?
yeah,
All right, so how far do you think you drug him for?
well, I had dragged him from where we were sitting,
Mm-hmm.
parked, and he had the handle. I didn't realize it, and I just drove
Well,
on.
you just told me you saw that he had the handle. So you did realize it.
Yeah, he had a handle, because he...
So you did realize it. Don't minimize what you're saying, hon. You're doing really good, and you keep minimizing this. Just take responsibility for it. Okay? That's what's going to help you. You got to take responsibility for this. So you tell me now that you don't know if he had the handle, but you just told me.
He had a handle trying to get in the van.
And you drove off.
Yes.
How fast were you going? Don't say 10 miles an hour, because that wasn't 10 miles an hour.
I was in a hurry to get out of there.
So you sped off. Okay. How far do you think you drove him?
Well, where I showed you he was laying at is where he was laying at
Okay.
when I went back to get him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he maybe got up and tried to move around or anything. But I do know he eventually let go of the handle.
Okay. You didn't hear him drop?
I
How
had
far-
the music on.
Okay. So how loud is the music? Pretty loud?
Yeah.
So
Well, it was not pretty loud. It was like maybe 15. Or
Okay.
like 15. I don't know.
I know what you mean. So once you drag him, you see him fall off, and then how far do you drive after that? Is that when you drove out towards the road?
Yes.
Okay. And you were gone at least 20 minutes.
It could have been, it probably was longer because I went all the way till I got to the one part where you can only go like this. And then I just turned back around and went back and get him.
Brittany now admits to driving at least 20 minutes away from the scene before turning back around. Next, detectives want to know more about the pair's alleged plan to dump the body.
So this morning, is it true that you dumped the body this morning?
Yes.
That's true?
Yes.
And where you showed us, is that the true
Yes.
spot?
Yes.
And who was driving?
He was,
Okay.
because I don't know my
So you're
route.
saying you stopped in the middle of that bridge where you
Yes.
showed us,
Yes.
and
And before we stopped, we was, like I told you, we was a little bit down the road, but prior to that, we had stopped so he can tie a brick or something,
you tied a brick to him?
brick and a rope, that's what he said, I don't know for sure.
Okay, you know the difference in a brick and a cinder
Well,
block?
it was like a whole brick, but he put holes in the rock, I'm guessing.
Okay.
It's something like a cinder block.
Okay, so
but
you know what
he
a cinder
put-
block is?
Yes, it's got 2 holes in it,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
And he put, I don't know how many holes in it, but he said he put a hole in it.
All right, so what did
I didn't go and examine them.
what did he tie him up with? A rope?
It was a red rope with different colors on it.
Right.
And he said, I'll pick a river, and we just toss them in there.
So what made him pick that particular spot?
Well, he said that one, or there's one in Cincinnati,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, well, he had asked me which river I think he should jump it in. I hesitated for a minute because I honestly didn't know what to even say.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him the Kentucky, Indiana, because he was rattling them off because I don't know rivers.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him the first, he said that one last,
Mm-hmm.
and I told him the last one.
Mm-hmm.
So, I lost track.
That's all right. What part of the body did he tie the rope and the cinder block onto?
He put it, like he's laying like this.
Mm-hmm.
He put it like here.
The block?
Yeah.
Okay.
He put it here and just like wrapped the rope around.
Like his torso?
Yeah.
Like his waist?
And
chest
it kind
area?
of looked like, when I glanced back, it looked like it was like all the way down to here also. Like it went from maybe like his middle of his chest
Mm-hmm.
down.
Okay. So, you guys get out to the bridge,
Mhm.
and this block is around him. You stop in the middle of the bridge. Who gets out of the car?
He
The
said, well, at first I wasn't going to help him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, you know you're going to have to help me.
Right.
And because he's a little too heavy with the the center block and his body weight.
Mm-hmm.
So he was driving, he went in between the two seats, went back there, grabbed his upper half, and
Mhm.
told me to grab his legs.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just tossed him over.
Did you get out of the van to do that, or was the sliding door open?
I got out of the van,
Right.
and I opened the sliding door because he told me to open the door.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did,
Mm-hmm.
and he told me to just grab his feet.
And you grabbed his feet.
Yeah.
And then he got out of the van, or did he just...
He got out of the van too.
And you both
Just basically tossed him.
tossed the
Well,
child
we
over?
was like this.
Right.
He had the top half, and I had the bottom half, and we just tossed it over.
Okay.
Britney was sentenced to 21 years to life in prison after pleading guilty to murder and child endangerment charges. Her boyfriend, James, was sentenced to 15 to 19 years in prison after pleading guilty to multiple charges, including kidnapping, gross abuse of a corpse, and child endangerment.